Yeah, man, I'll drive the boat. Hoopa drives the boat. I feel like I'm on one of those railroad things, you know? Me and Vinny, we're heading to Mississippi. Uh-oh. Stop you every time. Bottomed out, Vinny. And no, we ain't going nowhere. Hold on. It's like being stuck in the snow, you gotta rock it, you know? Pump it up more.
I'd turn around and drive it forward.
I'm gonna need you to focus, Vinny. Look at this. Oh, that felt good, like a scratch you've been trying to get. So we're here at my buddy Dan Suarez's house at the Suarez Family Brewery up here by Germantown. Hold on, we'll start over. Dan, where are we?
Livingston.
Ah, Livingston. There's more into beer than just putting some grains and some water and something. I mean, everyone knows, you know, they just go to the store, they buy their beer, but there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of life involved. All right, I got one job. Grains in the bin. Hey, just in case, how do you turn this machine off? I got you. I'm the ammo guy in Saving Private Ryan, you know? You're never gonna run out, bud.
It has some sugar in it now, but it also has starch and enzymes.
Yeah, you taste the starch.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all that starch gets converted to sugar by the enzyme.
Food.
Yes.
Science.
Which is exactly.
Learn something every day, Vinny. I got some German in me. This shit's in my blood.
What? Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at me. Look German, look a little Dutch.
Yeah. I can see that, I guess.
So we just did those 18 bags of malted barley into the grinder.
Yep.
Why do we grind it?
Almost every kernel gets split in half, so then you're exposing the starch inside of the kernel. It'll be very cloudy and chunky, and I'll recirculate it, and then 45 minutes later it's like crystal clear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Science. Wort, Vinny. W-A-R-T, right, Dan?
No, man.
Really?
It's W-O-R-T. Wort is what you like get on your finger.
W-O-R-T. Hey, why is yeast so important in the beer making process?
Without yeast, it would just be like sugary hop tea.
The yeast eats the sugar?
Yes. Yeah,
and produces alcohol.
It produces alcohol and CO2, but it also kicks off tons of flavor.
Ooh, what are we gonna call this? A little breakfast hooch? No, there's no alcohol.
No, man, it's just sugar. It's just like...
Oh, pretty nice. So Dan's pumping the finished wort, clarified, through the pipes into the cooking vessel. What do we call that, Dan?
Kettle.
Yes,
kettle.
Yes, the boil kettle. And then from there, we're gonna boil it, add the hops. What they do is they take fresh hops and they turn it into a powder and they pressurize it and make little pellets. Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just as good as using fresh cones?
Yeah, same thing.
All right, see it hitting the liquid? Dan just got off the phone with the pig farmer. He's going to come over around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and pick up this spent grain. Pigs go nuts over this stuff. It feels good on your face. Forget the pigs. Send this right to the spa. Oh, by no means is that underrated. All right, Vinny, quit fooling around. We got work to do. Yeah, Dan's wearing glasses and gloves, and he didn't give me any protective gear, but you know who your friends are.
We're gonna be messing around with Sandy all day. Dude, if you even get this on your skin for a second, your skin starts turning white and it like burns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then forget it. If you get this in your eye, it's like
Jesus Christ!
Don't
get that shit on me. Hey, Brad, stand over here. I'm gonna wear gloves and glasses. You get that goddamn hell liquid in your eyeballs. And what, so this is where fermentation will take place?
Yeah, this is where we'll add our yeast from another conical, and then we'll flash chill. After we boil in here, we'll flash chill through this heat exchanger into there, and we'll add our yeast too, and then hopefully by tomorrow morning it's
This is the flash chiller.
so cold water goes pumped that way, boiling wort gets pumped that way, and then they exchange heat, and then we return hot water into the hot water tank, and by the time the wort gets here, it's nice and cool. Yeah, like touch to your tongue. You got to taste all the ingredients, you know?
Ooh, a little
bitter.
little tangy. Not too bad.
I mean, that's a nice consistency.
That's beautiful.
Nice pale, fluffy.
Looks like pancake batter.
Creamy. Now I'm going to hook up the keg, and we're going to harvest.
Hey, can I have some of that yeast? This one right here?
Yeah, you can take some.
I'm gonna steal a little yeast for back home, back in the BA test kitchen. Oh yeah, good luck, Brad. How'd that work out? Oh Jesus Christ! Nice flick there, Dan. Yeast is in here. We know this. We're gonna pipe it through. This is our little sight glass. Oh, here we go. Dan's coming. Right into the kego. Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice thick yeast.
Looks good, right?
Yeah, that's what we want.
All right, we're going to take this keg over to the fermentation vessel where we're going to pitch the yeast into the beer, and that's where all the fermentation happens. All the life force begins to eat the sugars, create alcohol, create all that nice depth of flavor that you get in beer, and yeah, you really can't do it without the yeast.
The wort is filling the tank from the bottom, and now we're pretty much good to add this whole can of yeast.
Wort, not to be confused with wort.
As we're pumping the wort in, this is getting kind of mixed in
right.
as we're pushing it in.
Science, Vin.
You wouldn't understand.
So we got our fermentation vessel filling up with the yeast, filling up with our completed wort. That mixes up in there. And Vinny, inside here is where all the fermentation starts happening. And once all the fermentation is done, the yeast settles, the beer stays up top, yeast is down here. We'll pipe the beer into another vessel filled with just the beer. Whatever yeast didn't settle in the first vessel will settle in the second. That's where we'll carbonate it. From there, we'll pipe it into bottles and kegs and start drinking some beer. All right, so we came in here not knowing much about beer other than how to drink it. And we figured, working with Dan, we did the grains, we made the wort. Wort. Start over, Vinny. We got the wort going. Wort. It's like a goddamn U in there. So pretty much, what I learned the most and what my favorite part about the beer making experience is how much life force is involved in it. Without the yeast, there is no beer. And without beer, there's a lot of unhappy people. Well, Suarez Family Brewery really hitting home runs over here. So thanks to them for having us, and let's go drink some beer.
He's a magic man, mama, yeah. That's what it's gonna play out.
Yeah, pretty much, Dan.
Straight down the center.
Look at that. That's like a goddamn Simpsons episode. That's like a Duff beer right there. Look at that. Look how good that looks.
There you go, sir.